Walkabout test of the MB7UCG igate with the Yaesu FT2D by Paul, Mike 0, Whiskey November Uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres, and PMR 446. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul, Mike 0, Whiskey November Uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446. Okay, you'll know that I've got my APRS igate up and running, and well, I was thinking this video might not be made because I was having some internet connection trouble over the last few days, which I suspect may be the part of the master socket that I was supposed to plug the VDSL modem into. That's been reconfigured, so it's going through an old microfilter that I had lying about at the ISP's suggestion, so that's what I've had to do for now. This one comes on the final week of which I'll be working at my current employer unless they offer me a permanent contract. My contract is up on Saturday, unfortunately. So yeah, maybe time to find another job. So yeah. So the iGate's up and running, and I'm hoping to go and do a little walkabout with the FT2D, which you can see here. I'm not sure if the fill light off the camera's reflecting off that or not. I hope not. So the idea is that I do a walk around test with this. I'm going to combine this with doing a couple of bits of shopping, and hopefully, because I actually am allowed to go and do some shopping, so hopefully it'll give me a rough idea of where this handheld can get in. I'll be using the stock antenna on it, which is, let's unscrew it, this is the antenna that comes with the Yaesu FT2D. So, and it's already set up on the APRS frequency. I'll just see if I can wake it up, but I have a pin number on this and you guys aren't allowed to see that. The volume's turned right down at the moment. I can turn it up a bit. It's also on the repeater frequency as well, so it's already on the repeater and APRS. It's not receiving anything at the moment, which is just typical when I'm trying to film something. So, you know, that's always the way. But the iGate is operational at the moment, so it's just got a limit on it as to how much it will and won't send. So that way it just basically doesn't jam the radio channel, which isn't something I don't want it to do. So it does work. If I go into the beacon transmit, it won't let me do that because I haven't got a GPS signal in here. Always away. But that's because the radio started from cold, so it needs to get a GPS fix first before it does anything. So that's my plan for today. Go do walkabout test with the FT2D. So I'm going to get myself ready to do that, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to load APRS.FI up on one of the computers. It'll probably be my Windows 10 tablet, and I will record the screen. So each time a beacon is sent and it makes its way to the APRS-IS, then we'll know. Hopefully, and it might give me an idea. So I'm just walking down to the local supermarket. I don't need to go very far, so I don't need to take the car. Oh, now it wakes up. It's the iGate sending out its identifier and then sending out another packet anyway. So this is it has to identify itself every so often. It's kind of what you have to have it set to do if you run these things. So right, I'll go get everything all ready to go. So should catch you momentarily. Okay, I'm outside the front door of the flats. Got the radio. Let's get this turned on. Again, you can't see my pin number, you're not allowed. Okay, that's come up. And so what I've now got to do is go into the menu, press the APRS, and then we've got to scroll down till we get to, I'm just trying to find it now, Beacon TX, press display and rotate the knob to auto, and I can press the PTT to confirm that, and now the radio should now start beaconing once every 30 seconds. Similar to what my FTM400 XDE is doing in the car, which is pretty good. So I'm going to start walking around with that. I'm going to clip this to my waist, and we'll see how it goes. I've got my Windows 10 tablet recording APRS.FI, and it's just sent a beacon now. So there we go. So let's see how it goes. I'll catch you in a wee while. Okay, I'm around the back of the houses at the bottom of the street. I'm just checking on the map, and so far it seems to be so good. So that's just a quick check-in, and it seems okay. You'll probably be able to see that yourselves as you see the map and my trace on there, because I'm going to be putting that into the video, of course. So far so good. I'll be checking back in again down near Tesco. So I'm just trying not to get this camera wet and my phone. Well, they're both phones, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's crack on. Okay, so I've just been and done my shopping in Tesco. I've still got my face mask on. I'll have to remember to remove that. And as you can see, the beacons were reaching back from down there. I'm actually impressed by that. So I'm going up to Poundland next, because there's a couple of things I want to get from, and then that'll be me on my way home. So I'll catch you in a wee while. So what we've got here is APRS.FI. It's just showing the map of the entire track. So this is just as I left the house, so should start beaconing now. There we go. So that's the first beacons down to the bottom of the street. It has no problem at all doing that, even behind the houses, which did surprise me, considering it's behind objects. So we go down towards where Tesco is, and even into Tesco's car park, which should be any minute now. Well, you can see it still worked. So I was actually quite surprised about that, considering I'm using a rubber duck antenna and the receiving antenna is not the best. Just sit here for a little while, because I obviously go into Tesco to do my shopping, and then it'll then start going back up towards the top of Tesco, which is where I went back towards Poundland and also Iceland. You'll see that even though it's still behind the brick wall and then behind the metal buildings that Poundland and Iceland are both in, it's still working perfectly fine. I had a little bit of a mishap here for the next part, because I'd knocked the radio off frequency onto frequency it won't transmit on anyway, and then I locked the radio, not realising I'd also locked the PTT, and that included the APRS PTT as well, so it didn't do anything after this, but it did work. Okay, so back in the radio room. This is the day after the rest of the video, so I didn't get around to finishing it all yesterday. There's various other things, so I'm finishing it off today, and as you can see from the trail, pretty much most of the way from here down to Tesco, if not all of the way, was perfectly fine with the HT on its stock rubber duck antenna. So I'm impressed with that. The HT is actually on charge at the moment, because I was obviously using it last night for the Colburn and Richmondshire District Amateur Radio Society net, and that's obviously depleted the battery as well as obviously transmitting on APRS. So it seems to be working fine. The igate is covering the centre of Catterick where I want it to cover for handheld coverage. So I'm pleased with that result. And of course I can get into it from a bit further away with a car, and as it turns out, from close to my work. but the FTM400 XDE is actually transmitting at about 50 watts, so that might have something to do with that. But then again, maybe not. I don't actually know, because I've not tried to transmit a beacon at lower power from there. I might give it a go, actually. Just a thought. So, yeah. The iGate's working. I've got coverage around the town in places where I wasn't expecting it, actually. So that just means that I've now completed the little walkabout test that I wanted to do for the moment. So, probably be more in the future on the subject of APRS. Obviously, I'm going to be running this iGate for the foreseeable. And, of course, it'll probably get changed, the antenna, at some point in the future. So the current antenna's not the greatest, but it should work. It's working how I want it to work at the moment. It's covering the main area I want it to cover, which is down into the centre of Catterick. So that's the main area I wanted it to cover, just centre of Catterick Garrison, just down where Tesco and everything is. So that's ideal for me walking around with a handheld. A higher mounted antenna would be better, but I'm just going to have to make do with what I've got at the moment. So, yeah, I'm good. So, it's Paul, Mike 0, Whiskey November Uniform, or 26 Charlie Tango 730 if you catch me on 11 metres and PMR 446. Well, yeah, the virus is still out there, so just keep yourselves safe, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one. 7 for now, guys.